Now with the release of Varlamore, we have also received the new best moneymaker in Old School, and that is of course the Colosseum. The Colosseum is extremely lucrative, but it comes at the cost of being some of the most difficult content in Old School and requiring really high level gear to complete it. But do you really need all those things? Today we're going to try rebuilding at the Colosseum from absolutely nothing. Just our fists, and we're only going to grind at the Colosseum and see how far we can make it and how much money we can make. So I haven't told anyone about this yet, but recently I've gotten addicted to eating purple sweets all day, and purple sweets are expensive, and this addiction has cost me everything. My bank is gone, absolutely nothing in our inventory, no gear. We're starting from scratch. So to complete the Colosseum is incredibly difficult, but doing the first handful of waves is definitely doable, even with low level gear and not that much experience. Now because we have no gear, we have one big hurdle to get us started with, and that is getting any loot. We have to complete the first wave to get our guaranteed 100 Sunfire Splinters, which currently is worth about 100k, so that would be great. So for our very first completion of wave 1, we're gonna have to punch everything to death, and that's gonna be kind of hard. So in the first wave, we have 3 monsters to contend with. We have the Fremenic Trios, a Major, and a Meteor. Now what's going to make this actually possible is the Fremenics don't actually attack you while they're moving. So if you kind of kite back and forth somewhat like this, they'll keep chasing you and not attack you. We can pray against the Major, and then the Meteor will be able to take out once he spawns. Don't know if we have the timing right on this yet though. Oh my god, okay, we've taken out the Warband Trio. That was quite a bit of work. So first up here, we have to unstick this Meteor up here. So we have to go 2 tiles out to get him unstuck. Definitely have to pray melee every single time he can attack us, because he can one-shot you even from full HP. Damn it. This is a 5-tick cycle. It's so awkward. It's so an unnatural feeling. Now for our first pick, we're picking the HP reduction. We need all the prayer we can get, and we're likely tanking a little bit of damage. That's fine, but if we run out of prayer, we're dead. So we're trying to maximize how long our prayer lasts for. Okay, so new strategy here. We're gonna try to just camp prayer against the Jaguar Warrior. It's not as big a deal if we miss a flick against the Major. We're not instantly dead. Oh my god, it's finally almost done. 6 prayer points left, 20 HP, kicking everything to death. This is taking forever. Yes, wave 1, we've done it. Which means we're gonna get pretty much 100k straight up in Sunfire Splinters. That's guaranteed, that's awesome. Let's go to the Grand Exchange. Okay, so we're able to sell off the Sunfire Splinters for 101k. That's amazing. That's perfect to start with. Now, there's quite a few different gear setups we could go with here. I'm going to start off with a mage setup, see how that works. So we're going to go ahead and buy ourselves the Uncharged Trident. We're definitely going to need a bit of each style regardless, because if you attack the Fremenics with the correct style, you will always hit your max hit, which means you do want at least a small switch. So we're going to use this Trident, definitely. Now to go alongside that, we'll just buy a little bit of mage gear. Not too much, but since we're camping mage right now, it's probably good to get a little more accuracy. And we'll pick ourselves up a magic short bow. This will be a pretty good early game range weapon for the Fremenic Major. And we'll grab ourselves some rune gloves because they're pretty cheap. Okay, let's see how this mage only setup works. So what we're going to do is right off spawn, we're going to attack the Meteor twice with our Trident. That should 2-shot it, which is perfect. So once that's dead, we'll take out the Major with our magic short bow. We could even spec, I guess, if we wanted. Now every wave has a reinforcement spawn. This wave is just 1 Meteor, so we're going to be getting that a lot. It is possible to kill the wave quickly enough though, so as soon as we get a bit better gear, we hopefully won't be seeing the Meteor too often. And really the only thing left to do is just to Trident everything down. Okay, so there we go, another wave complete, a minute 46. That is so much better than our first kill time. Our first kill, I think, took about 6 minutes, so yeah, we've cut off about 2/3 of the time. So we're gonna go back right away, sell off some more splinters. We'll go ahead and buy ourselves a melee weapon. That will just be nice to take out the Ranger Fremenic. We'll buy ourselves a rune scimitar. That should be fine for now. We'll also grab ourselves some more runes. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing is the Trident is actually pretty inaccurate against the Major. It's not bad once you have a good amount of magic accuracy, but it's kind of inaccurate with just a Trident and a wizard hat, pretty much. The reality is most of the monsters within the waves have pretty low defenses, which means you can kill them with a variety of different weapons, but because we have such bad gear, the minimal amount of defenses they do have does start to matter. So look how much we're splashing on this major. Definitely not ideal. We're wasting a lot of charges. I think we might actually switch things up a little bit. So that took almost 3 minutes for that wave. That definitely feels like too long. So we'll go ahead and sell our splinters, get another 100k, and we're gonna buy ourselves the rune crossbow with a kind of range switch. So we'll have just like a really bare bones kind of tribord setup currently, and we'll see how that works. So every wave we'll start off once again by attacking the Fremennik Berserker twice, or failing to attack it once and then attacking it twice, which seems to happen most of the time. Then we'll switch into our crossbow, kill off the major, switch into our melee gear, kill off the ranger, and then we'll crossbow down the serpent shaman. Hopefully this time being much more accurate, which it looks to be significantly better. And the melee will kill with magic, I think, as well. Yeah, that definitely worked way better. So I think it's time we just kind of grind out the first wave. I don't think there's any point going past it yet. We're too weak. And honestly, just farming wave 1 is incredibly good money. Look at that, 600 Sunfire Splinters going in. Absolutely huge, so much money. Bring our cash stack up to nearly 700k, and it's time to make some upgrades. So the reality is, killing things just straight up with slash is a pretty good option. We could kill pretty much everything with melee, and realistically that will be our best mid-game gear setup, is just gonna straight up be killing everything with like a whip and some strength boosting armor. Obviously, we're still going to keep a mage and range weapon for the Fremennik. We'll keep our trident and our magic shortbow, but we went ahead and picked ourselves up a dragon scimitar, and I think that should be pretty good against almost all the monsters in the colosseum. We're going to grab ourselves an obby shield right now, almost 600k for this bad boy, but honestly it offers a pretty solid strength bonus of +5, plus a ton of defensive bonuses as well. And that's another benefit of the melee setup. Will actually be somewhat tanky against the highly accurate monsters within the Colosseum. If you go like a range or mage build, we are like butter. And I'd rather be like a solid, hard cheese. Like, yeah, still gonna get absolutely murdered if we make some solid mistakes, but a bit more lenient. Yes, we are wearing bronze plate body because I just don't think we're gonna be wearing this for very long. Great thing is, accuracy doesn't matter. We can two-shot the Berserker every single time anyway. We'll switch into our magic shortbow, spec once, kill the ranger, 2 shots, right? And then we'll just dragon scimitar down, I think, everything else. And we should be pretty accurate. Now what we're aspiring to do is kill the shaman quickly enough before the melee reinforcements. Fortunately, we didn't get it that time. But if we're fast, we can get these waves down to like under a minute, which means we're getting almost 100k a minute. You can see that adds up to be a pretty good hourly rate. Yes, look at those Sunfire Splinters stack up. We got a nice routine going here, but yeah, I think it's about time to get some upgrades. Look at me, we're missing some key items here. So we're gonna sell off these 2,000 Sunfire Splinters we've slowly built up over the last hour, and that should be enough to afford a whip, and that's great. That might be the weapon we use for the rest of the challenge, honestly. So we got 2.1 mil, that's more than enough for a Abyssal Whip, perfect. We'll also buy ourselves some Dragon Boots, and we'll keep rocking this bronze armor for now. Doesn't really matter too much. So now that we have an Abyssal Whip, I think it's time to move on a bit past just wave 1 farming. Farming the first wave over and over and over again is actually insanely good money. If you do it efficiently, you can get up to like 4 to 6 mil an hour, which is incredible. But it's also incredibly boring. So now that we have the whip, I think we're able to at least do the next couple of waves, and the strategy I'm going to use is, for wave 2, there's about a 2 in 7 chance that we get a pretty solid loot of either rune kite shields or 150 Sunfire Splinters. If we see that as an option, we'll go ahead and do wave 2. Otherwise, we'll just reset and try again. If wave 3 also has a good option for loot, either 150 Sunfire Splinters, rune kite shields, or even potentially up to 500k with the Sunfire Splinters, we're definitely going to try out that wave. Otherwise, we're going to reset. So we can see for wave 2, we're getting offered 150 Sunfire Splinters, so now we're going to continue. Oh my god. What am I doing? I just got super chance there. Okay, we don't deserve to live here. That said, we probably should go get something better than wines. I don't even know why I'm using wines at this point. Oh, we actually have a good third wave loot, but I don't think we can do it. We didn't bring prayer potions either. I definitely didn't prepare for this. Yeah, there we go. There's another wave 2 completion under our belt. Next loot, gold ore. We're obviously not going to bother with that. We'll take our loot. So with that completion, we're up to nearly 2,000 Sunfire Splinters, which means that is another 2 mil. It only took us about 40 minutes. With this gear, and yeah, I'm not the best at the Colosseum. Okay, we'll go ahead and make a couple quick gear upgrades. We'll go buy ourselves the Obsidian Plate Body, although we'll probably upgrade that pretty quickly to the Blood Moon set, but for now we don't have enough money for it. We'll get the Obsidian top and bottom. For now though, we're kind of going all in on melee. We'll go ahead and buy a few more supplies as well. So after another couple hours of absolutely demolishing these poor Fremenic trios and Serpent Shamans, we have earned ourselves another 3,000 Sunfire Shards, bringing us 3.3 mil, which we're going to, I think, upgrade our amulet. We'll go ahead and buy an Amulet of Fury, which does give us potentially the option of upgrading it to a Blood Fury down the line. But for now, we'll just go ahead and buy the Fury. Extra defenses, prayer, bit of extra strength bonus, making it a pretty solid upgrade for about 2.6 mil. Oh my god, look at this stack of Sunfire Splinters just grow and grow. We're pretty much only farming waves 1 through 3 right now. We're just not quite yet ready to start investing more in supply costs. Like we're not using brews right now, we're just using sharks and some restores, really minimal. We're like hardly ever dying. We're just trying to farm out some mid-game gear here. So we ended up with 5,200 Sunfire Splinters, plus a bit of extra loot in the bank as well, but we'll sell off the Splinters for 4.7 mil. And we're actually gonna go ahead and upgrade to the Blood Moon set. I'm not sure if we have enough for the top and bottom. The Blood Moon tassets are weirdly expensive, but the chest plate is just straight up better. It has 1 extra melee strength and way better defense bonuses, including a pretty solid magic defense bonus. It does degrade over time, but it's like 50 hours of combat, so it's actually not that expensive per hour to use this. And I think it looks a bit better as well. Tassets are 4.1 mil, so I think if we sell off our plate legs, we should just have enough. That should be enough to also get the Blood Moon tassets, which once again are just a solid upgrade over the Obsidian plate legs and offer much better defense bonuses, so we'll be able to tank more damage. And yeah, we're kind of stylish, I don't know. Ooh, that's our first rare loot from the third wave. 30 Onyx Bolts E, that's a, I think, 1 in 70 drop rate. You have a 1 in 70 of getting these and a 1 in 70 of getting 500 Sunfire Splinters from this wave as well. Pretty uncommon, but we will definitely try to get it. One of the issues right now with having no Blood Fury and no Saradomin Godsword is we have no built-in healing. We have to use food all the time for every bit of damage we take. That said, this is a 500k loot, our biggest one so far. Definitely gonna claim that. Okay, so we have another solid bit of loot. We got the Onyx Bolts, some Runekite Shields, 2,800 Sunfire Splinters. Again, we are running just the first wave quite a bit. After selling off the Splinters, our Onyx Bolts, and everything else, we are up to 3.1 mil, which means I think we can sell our Fury. I know, sad, and buy ourselves a Berserker Ring. Berserker Rings are really expensive right now. We just have enough for it. 5.7 mil for it. We just have enough. We'll have to wear a Glory for now, but that is a solid upgrade to our strength bonus. Okay, so we finally made it to the waves with the Manticores on it. Honestly, doing this entire thing with melee is interesting. I have not, as of yet, successfully completed the Colosseum, but all my attempts have been done with a Shadow, which means you always have range, but with melee you obviously don't have that. It's less different than I thought it would be. You just have to run around the pillar back and forth quite a bit to get the monsters to kind of hug up, but it looks like we've pretty much done this wave. We're good to go. So this is our first wave 4 completion. It wasn't that bad actually, and for 441k in loot. Oh my god, we finished wave 4 and I was gonna call it, but we get 500 Sunfire Splinters from the next wave. I feel like I'm definitely gonna die. I don't have enough prayer. Let's just go ahead and claim the loot. I wanted to go for it, but we'll get another chance. We have over half a mil on the line. I think it's just worth claiming. We need the money more. Okay, we're back again on wave 4. We just got ourselves a pair of Dragon Plate legs. But next up, it's offering us 500k worth of Sunfire Splinters. That's really tempting. We do have the prayer this time. We don't have the HP really. We only have 3 Charon Bonds. Let's give it a try though. Okay, I think that spawn is totally fine. Yes, we did it. So that's our first 500 Sunfire Splinter reward. So we got 817k from that run. That's so good. Okay, we got some loot to sell off. More Sunfire Splinters, which, oh my god, these things are tanking. What the hell? Hopefully those bounce back a bit. The more the Sunfire Splinters tank, the more it makes sense to try to push to further and further waves to try to get unique items or just other loot. We're going to go ahead and buy ourselves an interesting item, the Addle. Now, this is a pretty strong item in the Colosseum because it allows you to two-shot the Fremenic Major, and the great thing about it is that the damage is based on your strength bonus, so you can wear melee gear the entire time and just switch into this thing, two-shot the Mage Fremenic, carry on with your day. It's pretty easy. It's a bit of an expensive item, but I think more than worth it. Okay, we saved up a solid amount of money. We're in the zone now. We're pretty consistently farming through to wave 4-ish, depending on how our run goes. We're up to 5.2 mil, and we're going to use that to pick ourselves up our Dragon Defender. We put a price on it of 5 mil alongside our Fire Cape. Life's too short to go back to those goddamn Cyclopses just to get a pretend Dragon Defender that I already have. So we'll just send 5 mil, call it a day. Pretty good upgrade that realistically everyone's going to have when they're doing the Colosseum with melee. In particular, this is going to be really nice for our accuracy. So yeah, happy about this one. Okay, I found these really cheap food items, actually, wild pies. They heal 22, and they're only 678 right now. Plus, they give you a ranged bonus, which is actually kind of useful. Boom, 500k, pretty solid. We got Onyx Bolts again. That's another half mil. That's another wave 5 completion. Had pretty solid loot the entire time. That's another half mil. Pretty consistently getting 500k. Okay, we finished wave 6. That one's usually a pretty spicy wave. We are getting the Dragon Plate legs next. The 7th wave is actually kind of easier in a way, but we don't have many supplies left, so we're just going to claim, for you guessed it, another 500k. Okay, we're going to go ahead and buy ourselves a Kraken Tentacle. This is going to slowly degrade our whip, but definitely worth it. Gives you more accuracy, higher strength bonus, and the Tentacle Whip is definitely, I think, the way to go here. It's probably going to be our best weapon. I don't think we're going to get anything better than this. So we now have the Tentacle Whip. We have to keep in mind we're now, we're going with our degrade build where everything I have is breaking slowly and it's going to get even worse when I get the Blood Fury. But yeah, there'll be some debts to pay eventually. Okay, wave 6 completed again, and we actually have a solid wave 7 loot. So we're going to go for it, I think. First attempt at wave 7. We got quite the stack there, which we're not going to deal with. We'll kill the Minotaur first, and when in doubt, just run to the other pillar and split up the stack. There's no point dealing with that. Nothing tricky required here, just run over. Okay, we are not risking wave 8 for 150 gold ore, so we'll claim for a respectable 500k again. Okay, another wave 7 complete. We managed to get a 500 Sunfire Splinter loot, which has actually given us a 800k loot for once, actually close to the mil mark. We'll definitely take that. As of just a few days ago, they actually updated the drop rates so we can get unique items from, I think, wave 4 onwards. So every time that we can push deeper into the waves is better, because the average gold per wave has shifted quite a bit, with a big jump up of wave 4. The first 3 waves are worth about 60k a piece, but wave 4 is worth on average about 180k. Wave 5 is 260k, wave 6 is 280k, wave 7 is 360. So yeah, we want to push further and further now, I think. So we've been saving up our loot for a while, and I'm finally going to sell it all off for a big upgrade in a way, but one that is going to make this count quite a bit different. We're going to go ahead and buy ourselves a Blood Shard. The blood shard is incredibly good in the Colosseum. It'll allow us to push to further and further waves, with the catch that we are now spending a lot more per attempt. This blood shard is expensive, 7.7 mil. We'll use it up in roughly, I think, 10, 15 hours, something like that. So realistically, I think a Seraphim God Sword would be better in a sense because we wouldn't have to spend so much money continuously. It would just be a one-time upgrade. But for now, the Blood Fury is way cheaper. Hopefully it'll allow us to make more money than it's gonna cost. But yeah, it's a pretty significant cost investment now. Everything's falling apart, guys. And I mean that literally. Look at my gear, everything's degraded. My tentacle whip is degrading, my blood fury is degrading, my blood moon armor is degrading. I have no idea how much per hour this is costing me, but probably close to 1 mil per hour to use this entire gear set maybe, with the vast majority of that just being the blood fury, but we gotta make something happen here. Okay, that's a good start. 800k loot, made it to wave 5, but we're tapping out. Now we would be able to make our money back farming these early waves, I'm pretty sure, but I really want to try to push the waves further and further so we get an actually reasonable chance of getting a unique item, which currently are still worth 10 to 15 mil, so it's still a pretty solid payday. Look at the Blood Fury go, we are topped up every wave. Another 950k in loot. I almost want to buy a second Fury just to put on for the earlier waves. Like, we don't really need the Blood Fury right away, and I think that would help reduce our usage of it a bit. So I'm going through my Blood Fury pretty quickly. We're already like done 1/5 of it. So to kind of help reduce that even more, we're going to buy ourselves some Blood Barrage runes, and we're going to barrage at the beginning of each wave. So in combination with that and our backup Fury, I'm buying literally a second Fury that we can wear for the first couple of waves. I'm hoping we can drastically reduce our cost per hour from the Blood Fury. Oh my god, you're kidding me. Oh my god, we got offered a piece of Sunfire on wave 4. That is the earliest you can get it. We have so many supplies. If I fuck this up somehow, I'm gonna be so sad. This is a pretty easy wave. So let's just take no risks and we should get ourselves a Sunfire top. Oh, the wave is solved, guys. It's all good. Hey, we got a combat achievement too. Oh, hell yes, we got an item. It's always during the rebuild. I don't know why. We're definitely claiming that 100%. We got ourselves the Sunfire Cuirass. Looks like it's a 10 mil item. Yeah, still pretty good. Really, they're all pretty similar in price. And I'm just stoked we got a unique item. That was my original goal. I just wanted to see if we could get an item. And yeah, that's gonna more than pay for our Blood Fury, I think. Oh my god, all the gear from Varlamore, I don't know, does it look cool or does it look stupid? I'm really conflicted. Either way, we're gonna dump this into the Grand Exchange for 7.5 mil. Dropped a bit, unfortunately. 7.6 mil though is still good. That is a full blood shard, just like that. Oh, that's awesome. So I think with that drop, we can safely say we have successfully been able to rebuild a cash stack at the Colosseum, starting with literally just our fists. If you look at the price check, we have about 26 mil in raw sellable items and cash, plus we also spent 10 mil to get our Berserker Ring and Dragon Defender combined, plus we have 4/5 of a Blood Fury and a Tentacle Whip, which is almost worth 10 mil on its own between those two, so we're pretty close to 50 mil worth of value we've accrued since starting this rebuild. Obviously, we did get a bit lucky getting a Sunfire item, but that actually only really made up, you know, 1/5 of our total loot. So I think there's no doubt that the Colosseum is a really good moneymaker, even if you can't complete it or even make it far in the waves, and you can even punch your way to a cash stack. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.